Hello, you guys. Just a disclaimer. I am so sorry about the audio in this episode. I had a lot of technical difficulties, but I couldn't delete all of the good commentary that I had in the beginning of this episode, but I am going to redo some of the commentary towards the end, the last half hour of this episode. So in advance, if you hear levels changing in this episode, I apologize ahead of time. I will do my best to prevent that from happening in a future episode. Thank you so much for your patience, and let's get into this episode. Hey, what's up? It's your girl DijahDiva, and you are tuned in live to the #Diva Game podcast, where we discuss art, music, entertainment, pop culture, and have cultivated controversial conversations. Okay, you guys. So right now, doing something a little bit different. I am filming part of this podcast live on my Instagram page. I'm gonna probably start doing this from now on, doing live stuff on Instagram, and doing snippets and doing the full thing on my Patreon account. Speaking of Patreon, make sure you guys go to the link in my bios or go to the link in the description of this podcast to DijahDiva.com. That's DijahDiva.com to stream this podcast, but also join a $5, $10, $15, or $25 Patreon tier. That gives you exclusive behind-the-scenes access, live podcasts, bonus episodes, and many, many more. Now, I'm excited. I'm so excited to be here. So excited to film this live on my Instagram page. If you hear anything in the background, it's just me being a hot mess because I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time doing this. But today, there's a lot of things that needs to be discussed. I told you guys on the last podcast, which was dropped last night, I reviewed Guy Body Bingo's Off the Books album, and it was really good. And I reviewed MJ Rodriguez / Michaela J. I reviewed her music video and single. And I am very excited to review. So it's a little bit old, but keep in mind, I'm about 4 episodes behind. 5. I'm about 5 episodes behind. So I'm about to review Chlöe's Have Mercy video and song today. And I'm going to be reviewing Lil Nas X's Montero album. I have actually been very anticipating for the Montero album. First of all, his promo and rollout for this album has been out of this fucking world. Like, it has been crazy. The pregnancy thing, all of the hoopla from the video releases, the singles, his interactions on Twitter and social media. This guy is a marketing genius, and people get really upset with him because of that. But people got to understand that you talking about him, being upset, being enraged, is giving him exactly what it is that he wants. He really, you're going to listen to the music. You're going to stream the albums. You're going to continue to have his name trending on every social media platform. So it is what it is. But Chlöe has been coming out of her shell a lot lately. And I'm very, very proud of her. She's breaking out and being like her own girl, her own independent woman. And I'm really loving that for her. And you know what? That little snippet, that booty's so big, Lord have mercy, like I do. Like, that little moment, that little clip was enough to like keep us wanting more for like the past 5 to 6 months. So she's really rocking it too. So the promo has been crazy, but we're moving on and then we're also going to have to get into the little Karen Civil drama today. And we're going to talk about, when do artists get paid? And this might just be like a sermon series. You know how you go to church and they be like, oh, it's this month's series, we talking about God's willingness to forgive or whatever. And they talk about a section every Sunday for the whole month. I kind of want to keep this independent artist theme like a series, but it's going to be a continuous series for the entire life of my podcast, because my motto, if you go to Diva Gang Nation on my website, is hashtag support Black independent artists. I am a big proponent in that. That's something I believe in. And the fact of the matter is, it's just so much that goes into independent artists. Independent artistry needs to be supported, because if you want to see diversity like people claim, if you want to see this person and that person make it and that person make it, people always talk about this person's underrated. In order for people to not be underrated anymore, you have to support them. You have to support them in real time. You got to demand these blogs. You got to demand for these blogs to post them. You got to demand for these people to get interviews on certain platforms. You got to, patronize their merch. You got to go to their shows. You have to listen to their music. You have to do TikToks to their music. You have to show up real time for the people that y'all claim that are overrated. But let's just move forward, because the Karen Civil drama. Child. I don't really, and this is the thing, I wouldn't talk about this drama if it didn't have to do with pop culture, entertainment, and having cultivated controversial conversations. Literally what this podcast is about. And I wouldn't talk about this if this drama did not have to do with independent artists. With that being said, we have to talk about it, because we have to break the chain. I have to talk about it. And y'all know I'm going to keep it real. And y'all know how I feel. If I keep it real, I'm in this industry. I'm trying to work my way up, but it is what it is. If I say somebody's name, or if I go there and they get offended, they don't want to work with me, it is what it is. My podcast is made for independent artists, for people who love music, for people who understand music, for people who want to hear the artistry from a dark-skinned, fat Black woman, people who really are here to support me. I'm not about to sugarcoat a pussy pop or nothing like that. When it comes down to this Karen Civil drama, there's a whole bunch of dirty ass hands in this pot. One thing I know, I watched Lovely T. I wasn't fully up to date about what all was going on, because I was a little confused. Because I've heard of Karen Civil, and almost every time I've heard her name for the past maybe 5 or 6 years, it's been some bullshit. It's been negative. It's been on some weird shit. So I'm sitting up here doing research, because I don't want to get on here and just slander this woman without, because there's always agendas being pushed when they want somebody to attack a Black woman or whatever. But I did my research. I remember her name being brought up in 2018 when she was going through her beef with Meek Mill, with Cardi B, with this girl, with that girl. And Karen Civil was a person, they had an intern that ran a story about Nicki Minaj. I don't remember exactly what the story was, but they ran a story, they had an intern, and then Nicki Minaj slid in the intern's DMs and started getting hot and spicy with her. And then the Karen Civil brand, they were just running positive stories about Nicki Minaj, not running the story about her brother, not talking about her husband, not talking about 6ix9ine, not talking about the beef. They wasn't, it was like they were putting their hands in the pot, and they had specific groups of celebrities that would pay them to avoid certain negative stories and promote positive stories. So that's already dirty in the beginning. But Cameron came out 7-8 years ago talking about how she scammed him. It's a whole bunch of people. But one thing that stood out to me, because this is a platform that is specifically kind of geared towards independent artists, one thing that really stood out to me about the whole Karen Civil situation is the fact that Joyner Lucas had a lot to say. He said that in 2015, when he was up and coming and his son was about to be born, he gave her $60,000 so she can run press, so she can get interviews, so that she can get hook him up with people in the industry, management, tour bookings, and all types of other stuff. He basically hired you to be not only a PR, but also an A&R. And he gave her $60,000 at the time, and he was not Joyner Lucas that we know now. He was just regular ass, schmegular ass Joyner Lucas. And then he came back and said that hurt him, and that was a lot of bread coming out of his pocket. And I was just like, oh, that is really upset. But then I did a little bit more research, because I was like, okay, let me make sure everything is that I'm thinking is correct. I watched Lovely T's live today. Shout out to Lovely T, by the way. Love her. Very credible source. I watched her live, and she was talking about how this just sounds like modern day payola. And as we know from the Nicki Minaj Cardi B beef, payola is basically when artists pay radio stations, DJs or whatever, to spin their records, boost them through the algorithm and all types of other shit. And we all know that payola is not legal. And she said that it sounds like it was payola. And we have to understand, and this is something that Lovely T got into more details about. I'll link her situation in the description below. But a lot of artists pay blogs to bury stories. A lot of artists pay blogs to boost stories. She brought up a lot of her audience in the live stream. They brought up some good hints. Fire Festival wasn't nothing but a whole bunch of rich people paying celebrities to promote something that they did research on. So you have to take with these celebrities, with the algorithm, whatever, push with a grain of salt. Because even on Instagram, anybody can buy advertisement. You don't actually have to have a business. You could be a scam artist. Anybody can run an advertisement, and you can get sucked into supporting a business that's not legitimate. So money can get you a long way. But he, at the time, was trying to get his music up. He was trying to do what he thought was going to be an investment in his career. And maybe she did take the money and just, squander it or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, that's a risk that you take. And that all bleeds into independent artistry, because we talk about Joyner Lucas. And even at the level he was at, he wasn't really high. But he was higher than a whole lot of independent artists that I know personally. And a lot of independent artists get taken for a fool. I have been a victim. I know so many other people that have been victims of being taken a fool for as an independent artist. A lot of people take advantage. There's a lot of Karen Civils walking around here with small ass platforms. There's a whole lot of Karen Civils walking around here. People, and let me tell you something. This is just a rule of thumb. Why the fuck would why would you pay anybody to do an interview of you? Because when Cardi B is trending, people are begging her every 6 seconds for an interview. People go on the red carpets at Met Galas and VMAs and Grammys begging to speak to these celebrities and begging to get some footage to send back to their blog. People always are begging and begging and begging, because depending on who you are, if it's 2021 and Lil Nas X just dropped an album, don't you know how many people are knocking down his door just to get an interview for him? Don't you know how many people are texting him and calling him and having they people call his people? And when people are popular and popping and they're famous and they got a lot of shit going on, people are knocking down bridges. Blogs are knocking down shit just to talk to these people, because they are a good look, especially when they're trending. Celebrities do not get paid to do interviews, but they also don't pay people to interview them. That's not how that works. But a lot of times, independent artists, I just got hit up 2 weeks ago in a text message. Somebody talking about an interview with this DJ is $75 for an artist. Why the fuck would I pay you to interview me? Because if I'm a good artist and you believe in me, or I'm a good look, then you should really be reaching out to me and hoping I say yes for an interview with you. That's basically paid promotion at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I gotta pay you for you to act like you taking interest in me. And that's the integrity that's lost. because these people don't even know if these artists are good, they trash, they got good politics or whatever. People are literally paying people to interview them, even if you don't care about your reputation being soiled because you interview somebody who's clearly trash. Yes, I see that. You're paying people if they're not popping yet. But at the end of the day, a lot of these niggas would just let anybody pay them for an interview, whether they're trash or not. And people shouldn't have to pay for exposure. I'm so sorry. Exposure that shit should come natural. Now, does it in the algorithm, paid advertisement, bot account, robo account days? No. But people should not have to pay for exposure. People should be able to put themselves in positions to get exposure, making cameos, getting in good graces with people, pushing their music, networking, rubbing elbows. Those are the things that people should do for exposure. I shouldn't have to pay you as a DJ to spin my record. Because at the end of the day, as soon as I pay you to spin my record, you gonna spin my record one time and ain't nobody gonna be my fan. I'm not grabbing no audience because I paid you to spin my record. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with me because I paid you to play my record. That's not how it works. And a lot of the times, all of this shit ain't shit but payola. And from an artist perspective, from an independent artist perspective, it always seems like people are constantly taking from us. We gotta perform. We have to have good energy. We have to have good music. We have to look good. We have to pay for exposure. We gotta pay for advertisement. We gotta pay for promotion. We gotta pay for beats. We gotta pay for studio time. We gotta pay for videos. We gotta pay for the outfits for the videos, the hair, the nails, the makeup. We gotta pay people to be in the videos. We gotta sit up here and pay celebrities to act like they fuck with us. We gotta pay to go to these clubs and get in and do club appearances so all of these people can know that we exist. We gotta pay to be in this space. If I do a show, I gotta pay for the flight. I gotta pay for the hotel so I can have some place to stay. I gotta pay for food so I can eat. I gotta pay this person because I can't just have this person do my hair, makeup, and nails and be my assistant. Everybody gotta get paid off of independent artists except for the independent artists. Because it's some bullshit that I gotta go buy studio time, pay a producer for a beat, pay to fly or travel, pay for transportation, pay for a music video, pay for this and pay for that, and then have a DJ sit up in my face and tell me after I paid for all of this shit so that I can even have anything to present or talk to you about, that now I gotta pay you so I can do more work for a slot. That's bullshit. It's scam artist bullshit, and it's another form of payola. Because it's so ridiculous how much people expect us to pay just for somebody to pretend to fuck with us. And nobody say, hey, I want to book you for a show. Don't nobody want to book an independent artist until they become a Chance the Rapper. At this point, you ain't nobody trying to pay you until they can't afford to pay you. I'm going to say that one more time because that was some real shit. People don't want to pay you until they no longer can afford to pay you. When Megan Thee Stallion was independent, she was probably paying for slots and doing all types of shit. But now motherfuckers want to double back. Like, oh, she asked us this one time, we had this one conversation. Now you want to double back now that she's a Grammy Award winning artist. And now you got to offer a price that you can't afford when you could have just supported Shawty from jump. And that's the thing that I'm trying to say. When do artists get paid? That's the whole thing. That's how the Carrie Civil thing and the topic at hand intertwine. When do artists get paid? Because at some point, an artist shouldn't have to wait until their bookings is in the 250 grands before they see a dollar. It's okay if you got independent artists that got like maybe 700 followers to give them $100 or $75 or $50 or $30 or at least pay for their transportation. I'll pay for your train ride. I'll pay some gas. I'll put something down in the gas. I'll make sure you get food and water. I'll make sure that you eat. When are artists supposed to be taken care of? Because artists take care of everybody else. And that's why for me, I don't get mad when a Jay-Z or a Beyonce or a Kevin Hart or a Tiffany Haddish or a Tyler Perry, I don't really take it super personal when they not trying to break bread with motherfuckers that was around them. I don't get mad because at some point you realize how much you had to give of yourself to finally see a return on your investment. And now everybody in the mix think that they helped you when in reality they didn't. Because a lot of y'all let people come and perform and rock the house down, sweat it out, cry it out, work it out, and then these motherfuckers are sleeping in their car. You didn't even put them up in the hotel room. These motherfuckers are hungry. You didn't even buy them something to eat. Because I will never forget the story Steve Harvey told. This dude was on stage and he said that he finally got his big break when he got to host the Apollo, right? And he said that he hadn't eaten all day. He spent his last couple $100 trying to get from Cleveland to New York, I believe. No, Chicago. Up north. I forget. I ain't no geographer. And he said he was hungry. And they said that he had to stay. He didn't have no money for no hotel. He had to stay in that room all day. But then he got hungry. And he went to go spend his last couple of dollars so he can go to get a couple of pieces of chicken from Churches up the street. And it made me think, those people should have at least had some gumption to make sure that he could get go get something, put some money in his pocket so he can go get a sandwich or a chicken sandwich or something. A lot of y'all don't even make sure that y'all artists eat and have some water. And that's the shit that I can't stand. But that's that gatekeeping bullshit that we gotta break. Because at some point, artists are gonna unionize. Just like everybody else. Just like how Wendy's and Walmart and Amazon and all these places, they can't find nobody to work for them. Everybody hiring. Everybody saying, oh, we hiring. We giving $500 advances. We paying $16 an hour. We done raise our minimum wage. Everybody's struggling to look for employees. But sooner or later, that's going to happen with rappers, singers, comedians, dancers, actors, painters. It's going to happen. And it's going to be a point in time where these people are not going to be desperate anymore. Because social media is now making a world where we don't need middlemen. If one thing pop off for a person on social media, now they got a solid audience for the rest of their life. And a lot of the times we have to remember that independent artists, but artists they got bills, they got people to feed, they got things they got to take care of. And making art, doing this shit ain't cheap. It's not free or cheap. Because everybody is expecting money out of us, but don't nobody ever just want to give us money. And that's the whole thing about being an independent artist. So with the whole Karen Civil situation, all I see is another nigga taking advantage of independent artists. Because the shit that she did to Joyner Lucas was inexcusable. And Joyner Lucas was probably young, desperate, and trying to hurry up and get his shit going because he had family obligations. He probably just put that $60,000 down because he really thought it was gonna give him something. And that's the sad part, because she probably knew that. And I don't believe for one second that she made herself disposable to him, accessible to him. Oh, you could have called me anytime. No, because if you did, then he wouldn't be this mad. Karen Civil is a dirty nigga, just like a whole lot of other dirty niggas are in this industry. And the dirtiest of niggas be the niggas that are local. The niggas that be in my city, in your city, in other people's cities. Some of those be the dirtiest niggas. And they got a little bit of accessibility to be and C-list celebrities. And they making all the independent artists trying to help them feel like they got close proximity with those people. And I just never understood that. It's so fucked up. It's so unfortunate. And I just really feel for all the independent artists out there being taken for a ride. There's a list of scams. And I'm thanking God that I actually went to school for this and all of this other stuff. And I got a degree in this. because they told us the schemes. You should never pay nobody to be your manager. You should never pay nobody to be your agent. You should never pay nobody to spin your record. You should never pay nobody to interview you. You should never pay nobody to do this. It's a whole list. You should never pay nobody for no audition. A lot of people don't know this shit, and they just be so desperate to try to make it that they do shit like this, and they let these pyramid scheme ass niggas take advantage of them. I'm happy I learned that, but that whole paying somebody to interview you is weird. Talk about for exposure or the pop. Like you get to talk and interview and give a new artist some time and you got paid. The only person benefiting is you. The artists don't benefit from a disingenuous ass interview. The artists don't benefit from a disingenuous ass article or social media post. We don't benefit from that bullshit. Even when it's a person with a lot of followers and influence. Like, it don't work. I've seen it before. People got millions and millions and millions of followers, and then they do a shout out or promote somebody on their page, and they say if you post this type of post, a story post will get you 1,000 followers, a page post will get you 5,000 followers, 24 hours will get you this many followers and this many followers, and that's not true. It's not true. Because if you do get all of those followers, are they going to be active? Are they going to support your Patreon, your OnlyFans? Are they going to buy some merch? Are they going to stream some music? It ain't no point. And half of the time, most of the followers or whatever they promise you are bot accounts anyways. Niggas that live all the way in the country where they don't even know what the fuck you saying, or people who aren't even people. You got a whole bunch of iRobots following you. So people don't be taken for a ride. Don't let these niggas convince you that you gotta do this and you gotta do this to be put on. A lot of times you just gonna have to rock that shit and be pushing your pen and your music or your whatever it is that you do until the wheels fall off, until somebody fuck with you, until you build your following organically. 1 follower every day. It's sometimes the turtle wins the motherfucking race. Because some people are industry plants, and we could talk about industry plants a whole nother day on a whole nother podcast, but some people are industry plants. But the thing about an industry plant is they die quick. When's the last time y'all heard of a Cash Me Outside? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because she was the shit for a whole summer, and now we ain't heard from this bitch in almost upwards of 1.5 to 2 years. The machines die quick. And the thing about being a machine is you're easily replaceable. But with that being said, I'm so happy I got to get that off my chest. I'm not super well versed in the whole Karen Civil situation. It's just that situation just sounds like a whole lot of shit that I've already heard. I did some research because I didn't want to just get on here and attack this girl's character, but I did the research, and all I'm hearing is it's payola. I know payola when I hear payola. I've been an artist for a long time. I know what the fuck payola sound like when I hear it. Hey, dear Summer. Oh, I love you. Dear Summer, hey. If you listening to this on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, I'm doing this live on my Instagram, so I'm replying to a lot of comments. So, yeah. So, with that being said, I am extremely excited to review Chlöe's song, Have Mercy. First of all, I already talked about the rollout and how I was living, but this is my first time listening to the song. I'm a couple episodes behind, like I already stated previously. So I'm a little late to the party, but I also make sure that I avoid new music like the plague just so that I can give my fresh, non-influence. It's like, because I even try not to go on Twitter and review stuff and look at what everybody else is saying because I feel like those opinions kind of jade my own. I do my best to make sure that I am waiting until I do my podcast and talking to my audience before I review music. So I'm extremely excited. I am extremely excited to view this song because I have not heard this song yet. I heard it play in passing and I was just like, la, 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 you know. Shout out to Rico Nasty. But I'm very excited. So let's go ahead and get into it. Have mercy. Let's do it. On that song. So, I like the song. From the snippet that has been playing for months, I had no clue where we were going to go. And she took a really unique route. The cadences were unique. She did some flows that were nothing matched. You know what I'm saying? So like, she didn't do a second verse and a first verse that sounded just alike. She differentiated her flow between the first and the second verse. I like the scales that were happening at the end. I like that. I like that sound. I gotta listen to that again. I'm not gonna sit here and hold you. I'm confused. I have to listen to that again because I don't feel like I digested that properly. I'm gonna try to do that one more time without the video because the video was you know, it was cute. It was a good video. It was a decent video for the first video, but I'm still a little bit confused. I gotta listen to the song one more time. One more time. Cast for the new season of Dance It Will Blow You Away. So I listened to it twice. The video, that's the one thing about me doing this podcast when I'm reviewing music. A lot of times when it comes with a video, I really am into reviewing it with the video because I feel like it gives me everything that I need. But sometimes the video be too overwhelming and I be so distracted by the makeup, the hair, and everything that I'll be so distracted by all of the accoutrement of a video that the song gets lost in translation. I can say one thing for certain: the chorus goes hard. The word choice, I don't want to be this person. The lyric choice, the cadence choice, the flow choice, the rhyme schemes are very reminiscent of Beyonce. It's giving me real ape shit. It's giving me real ape shit type vibes, the choices. The voice sounds amazing. I like the cadence. The flow is really unique. This song does not sound like any other song that I've heard of lately. Her voice sounded good. However, I just feel like this whole song is just teasing. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what she could provide for us. I am very excited for her to take on this whole that bitch pop girl R&B chick, a little bit of hip hop. I'm ready for that R&B hip hop, Mary J. Blige, Ashanti, Beyonce. I'm ready for that realness to come back. It sounds like we about to get some 2003, 2004 pop R&B girl tease. I really want to watch this performance. I'm going to watch the VMA performance later because I really, really, really want to get into Lil Nas X's album. Now, I have taken, like I said on my last podcast, and this is the last time I'm going to give this disclaimer. From now on, I'm going to be listening to the album in its entirety before I do my review. I will go song by song at the end and then give my whole consensus at the end. But on my live, you guys will be able to see my live reaction to each song. Now, let's go ahead and get this album in rotation, and I'm extremely excited. So, Montero, Lil Nas X, the debut album. I have a few mixed feelings about this album. First of all, I think the album was really, really good. I've sat with this album for a little bit of time now, and I'm happy that I got that opportunity because how I felt when I first listened to this album is completely different from how I feel about it now. First of all, the first song, Call Me By Your Name, that song right there, Yeah, it's a good song. I've been like that song. Y'all already know how I feel about it from my previous episodes. I think the song is really, really catchy. It has a really cool pop vibe to it. And I really enjoyed that song. Like, I really do. The meaning behind it, the meaning behind the video. If you can get past your little religious bias, if you just watch the video and understand what he meant behind it, you would understand that he's not trying to evoke demons or whatever. It's just no, it's not that type. Niggas will say that and then go listen to Kanye West. Y'all need to really pick y'all struggle. But Dead Right Now so far is my favorite song. I thought it was That's What I Want. That's my second favorite. But Dead Right Now, the lyrics in this song are so powerful. Like, I never did you wrong. Even though I'm right here by the phone, dog. You never used to call. Keep it that way now. Treat you like you dead right now. Talking about how he lived in his mother's house, his sister's house, and how it was hard for him to make it. Mama told me she was gonna stop fucking around with that needle. Told me she was clean, but I know that her ass a deceiver. My mama told me that she loved me, don't believe her. When she get drunk, she hit me up with the fever like, whoa, you ain't even all that pretty. You ain't even all that nigga. You ain't even helping out with me. God won't forgive you. That's like those lyrics. He was telling his story, and that song is really, really good. I love Industry Baby. Jack Harlow goes extra hard on that song. I didn't realize it when I first reviewed it on my podcast, but I love Industry Baby. I really love that song. I really love the fill in the horns. At first, I did not like the transition between that song and Industry Baby, but it's not that. I didn't like the transition between Industry Baby and That's What I Want. That's What I Want is a very, very beautiful song. I love the video. The songs on here are really short, but I feel like that's what he does. But he gets to the point. Like, That's What I Want. Like, what I want, someone to love me. The singing in that's what I fucking want. Like, that shit is fire. Like, I love that song. The Art of Realization is an interlude. I feel like that would have been better placed in between Industry Baby and That's What I Want. I didn't like Scoop at first. I don't think Doja Cat went the hardest she could have went, but she was a good addition to the song. I didn't like the song at first, but I do like the cadence and the timbre. I just want to be a daily Scoop, like the build up in the chorus. I love that. Scoop is a really, really good song. I really enjoy that song. One of Me, I like that song a lot. I think that the lyrics in that song are spectacular. Lost in Citadel, I like that song as well, but I'm gonna be honest, I have to give that another listen because I haven't heard the song in a minute. But that song is really good. Tales of Dominica, no. I jumped the gun. $sign Slime. That's the one song that I just did not need. I feel like I do still feel the same way I felt about Scoop on this part. I think Scoop and $sign Slime were industry produced songs and label produced songs that they expected to do well. You know what I'm saying? It's always that one song on the album that sound like, okay, the label put this shit together to sell the album. And those two songs sound like that. So that's why they're not sitting like in a genuine space in my mind. I don't think Megan Thee Stallion did the best she could have on that song. I really feel like these two songs were just on the album for GP, but I do feel like the effort in Scoop was just a little bit harder than the effort in $sign Slime. Tales of Dominica, I like that song. Sun Goes Down is a really, really beautiful song. I love his voice on that. Void is a great song. Don't Want It is an amazing song. I heard on Don't Want It, there's this part where he does that, if don't shot, I'ma break that birdie's man. Thought I told you. Mockingbird. It was the Mockingbird flow by Eminem that he used in that song. And I know in Dead Right Now, he used that. So you're gonna stop fucking around with that Nina. The Keisha smoking on Keisha, the cashing out cadence was used on that song, and I heard it. Life After Salem is a good song, and Am I Dreaming is an amazing closer. And it also brings everything around full circle. I'm sorry. It brings the whole album around full circle because he's working with Miley, and his first big hit was with Billy Ray. I do think that his vocals were really good on that song. All in all, this album is actually really solid. It's a great debut. I can't wait to see what else he does with it, if he goes on tour with it, if he does any more videos and visuals. I really did like this album. And one thing that I like about Lil Nas X, he even did it with his 7 EP. I like the fact that this, first of all, the cover art for this album was amazing. This him floating in the middle, the cover art is beautiful. But one thing that I really like about him is that he has really good visualizers. So even if you don't get a full video, you have a really nice visualizer on YouTube. It's just the graphics, the rollout was everything, the promo was everything. I feel like he really set himself up. He is a marketing genius. He set himself up to have a successful video, a successful album rollout, because even if you like him or hate him, you still probably listen to the album. You probably engaged in some way, shape, or form on the internet, which gave him more juice for his rollout. And a lot of people gotta understand that. Just like there's a whole bunch of people who do shit for shock value and to polarize. And every time you talk about it, and that's why certain people I'm not talking about on my channel, on my podcast, on my Patreon, certain people I'm not gonna give my 2 cents about, because certain people just do shit that's harmful and problematic as fuck just for GP and just for shock value and engagement. And you keep giving it to them. You know what I'm saying? And the fact of the matter is, you can say whatever you want to say about Lil Nas X as far as him as a character or a human being, but you cannot say that this nigga's hype don't match the quality. I would get mad if he did all this hype for music and it was sucky. It was trash. But he does all of this hype for his music, and the music is hitting and it's doing well. He's not a one-hit wonder. He has proven that multiple times over and over again. And a lot of people just think that he was an industry plant. He was you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, here's the thing that I feel like with Lil Nas X, and I feel the same way about Lizzo. I feel the same way about a few different people. Megan Thee Stallion. Y'all only like people when you feel like you have access to them. It seems as if when he was coming up, everybody was rooting for him. I remember when Jacquees jumped on our throwback, when Jacquees, he jumped on the LMA Boot Up. Was it Boot Up? No, it was Trip. The Trippin'. When he jumped on that, everybody was like, oh, and LMA got mad. They was clowning LMA, and they was saying, oh, you just mad because his version is better. His version is better. His version is better. But then you turn on this nigga so quick when he named his album the King of R&B. Of course, he was doing it for shock value, whatever, because that's what he does. But y'all get mad at him and say, oh, he can't even really sing like that. Making fucking jokes about the shit that we used to jam when we was kids, his Chris Brown covers and his dancing. Y'all clowned this nigga, but y'all was just on his dick talking about how his Trip version was better than LMA. You was Team Jacquees at one point until he did something you didn't like. Until he did something that, you know, the internet will flip on you. When he had Old Town Road, everybody was like, they're racist for taking you off the country charts. As Black people, we gonna make this song the biggest song ever. Ha, ha, ha. Back at you. Now y'all mad because this is one of the best-selling songs of all times. It's double diamond now. Oh, we gonna make this song the biggest thing. We gonna show you. We gonna support Black people in country. We gonna talk about Black people in country. We gonna talk about the erasure of Black people in certain genres. Oh, we gonna root for the underdog. We gonna root for the underdog. But now that he not the underdog no more, y'all don't want to root for him no more. All of that rooting and shit got him to where he is. All of that support got him to where he is. So you mad because people weren't supporting him. Now you mad because everybody supported him. I don't get it. Y'all had all that energy the flip, the short-term memory of the fucking internet. Because at one point, before y'all found out he was gay, he was supposed to be the black country icon. But now, since he gay and open and just as open about his gayness as all these other niggas in the industry are about them being fucking Jezebels and Beelzebubs, these rap niggas is whores. All these niggas talk about is fucking random bitches and making single family households and not wearing condoms and doing this and doing that. Some of your favorite people out here making new bitches pregnant every 6 seconds, probably spreading all types of STDs and shit. So being a whore is not a fucking problem, but being gay is, and openly. Y'all don't have that same energy when you see bitches kissing and rubbing on each other in Cardi B videos. Y'all don't have that energy. But as soon as he is gay, now you feel like because you supported this person and you like their music, you had to be gay too. Your kids are probably going to be gay now that they listen to a song. That's how y'all feel. And it's ridiculous. And now that he got this music, his album out, and he's doing the damn thing, and he's very successful, now y'all don't fuck with him. It's real funny. I find it funny how. Because I really feel like y'all did all of this. Y'all built him up just to tear him down. And I do feel like he do some shit, some stupid polarizing bullshit, attention-seeking shit. He does do that. He does it. He's a troll. We know that. But it doesn't speak to the volumes of the music that he's producing. The music that he's producing is good. This album is really solid. All of these songs sit in a different pocket. He's exploring with rock, pop, country, soft rock, electronica music. He's doing hip hop. He's doing pop. He's doing all types of different styles of music in this album. He is showing you that he is not no one-trick pony. He is doing the damn thing. And I really want you guys to listen to the album. Regardless how you feel about him, you never make a judgment about an artist until you listen to a full body of work. That's my mantra. That's my motto. That's something that I live and die by. Because even there's so many people that I don't really fuck with as a person, and I listen to an album and I'm like, oh, they actually are talented. You got to give people a chance. So check out Montero by Lil Nas X. It's not a waste of your time. Y'all get the review beforehand. Also, check out Have Mercy by Chlöe Bailey. And that's another girl y'all keep shitting on. Y'all say, oh, they underrated. They should have won a Grammy. Chloe Halle should have won a Grammy for Ungodly Hour. And then y'all mad that she's shaking her ass while she's solo. Like, come on. Pick a side. And check out the music. Also, on my website, I do have an option where you can submit your music to me so I can review it here on the podcast. I'll be reviewing it here and on bonus episodes. I don't charge. I'm not about to make you pay for me to listen to your shit for free. That's no. But go ahead and check out DijahDiva.com. Join that Patreon, $5, $10, $15, or $25 per month. And bye, divas.